Assalamualaikum and hi everyone. My name is Najihah Binti Amran, and I hope you guys are doing okay despite the restriction movement order, despite the lockdown that has been issued by the government because of the horrible COVID-19 pandemic that is going around all over the world right now, which relates to what I'm talking about today. On my first commentary video, which is this video, I'm going to talk about COVID-19 pandemic lockdown, where some citizens in Malaysia and all around the world engaging themselves in social deviant behaviours. Before we begin, I'm going to explain what is social deviant. Social deviant is whenever someone go against what is expected of them. Okay. So in this video, I'm going to discuss 3 examples of such behavior and the possible reason behind that behavior by using the sociological concept that I've learned throughout the lecture class before. So I'm going to start with the first one, which is KKM Pasimas employees refusing to handle the COVID-19 dead body because of several reasons. First of all, it is because they said that they are not ready to handle the body because there is no SOP instructed to them, and also they said that the employees are not enough to handle this kind of situation. This is a social deviant behavior because society expect them to handle the situation, especially regarding the COVID-19 patients, accordingly, and not just leave them in the dark like that, especially when the patient is already dead and no one is there to handle it. What I think is the possible reason behind this kind of behavior that is being projected by the KKM employees is, first of all, is they have no accountability. This is in the Merton first theory under destructive behavior. What I mean by no accountability is that they blame it on the KKM for not providing the correct SOP, despite the fact that there was Ebola virus that happened before, and I'm quite sure that the SOP is similar to the virus COVID-19 that is happening right now. And also they put the blame on the KKM also, and on the lack of employees, but there are already 6 KKM employees, so I think that is enough actually for them to handle the process of the death, but instead they put the blame on others. Secondly, the possible reason behind this behavior is situational. This is according to Freud and Zimbardo theory. Situational is when a person is under a circumstance that has pushed them to commit social deviant behavior. In this term, circumstance that I'm talking about is where the COVID-19 death is the first death that happened in Kelantan state back then, so they don't know how to handle that kind of situation accordingly. And secondly is because they have lack of teamwork between the hospital itself and the KKM staff employee. They lack in communication because the patient was considered dead at 4 p.m. and accordingly the KKM should terminate the body. The KKM should handle the body that night, but instead they handle it the next day. So obviously there's a big social deviant behavior there. Okay, as of the second example for this social deviant behavior is on the case of the patient under investigation that committed suicide at Serdang Hospital on March 27th. He was a 62-year-old man, a senior citizen. He was under investigation and noted that he was tested negative for the COVID-19. But however, he was suffering from depression alongside cough, flu, and breathing difficulties. This is an excerpt from the Star Online. The Sepang District Police Chief ACP1 Kamarul Azrun Wan Yusof said that the body of this male patient was found in the toilet in Serdang Hospital at 7:40 p.m. Friday, a day after he was admitted to the hospital. Okay, the social deviance that is happening for this case, that happened in this case, is that the patient committed suicide. Suicide is something that not accepted by the society and should not be accepted by the individual himself, because it is against everything that a person believes in, against the instinct to live. Okay, so now I'm going to explain the reason behind why this person committed suicide as his social deviant. First of all is disillusionment. Disillusionment is when this man has lost faith in society. He didn't care about what others think of him, what people will judge him for if he commit this kind of behavior, which is suicide. He's not in the right state of mind. That's why he killed himself without caring how people react if he do such thing. Secondly, I believe that the Philip Zimbardo's theory on dispositional is applied in this social deviant behavior in terms of emotional problem. Obviously, I said that this male patient had depression, which could be a huge factor that lead him to commit suicide, which is social deviant. Right. So for the third example that I'm going to discuss is about two senior citizens arrested on 30th March 2020 because they were found hiking at Mount Lambak despite the restriction movement order that has been issued by the government since 18 March until 14 April. They are committing social deviant behavior because they are not obeying the restriction movement order, as well as they are showing that they want to hike without caring what are the rules that have been implemented to them since the start of this restriction movement order. So I'm going to explain why they do such behavior in terms of the sociological concept of social deviant. First of all is from the Stanford prison experiment of the 7 slippery slope of evil. They were mindlessly taking the first small step. What I mean by this is that they think that by hiking in nature doesn't affect them or other people negatively, especially during this pandemic, because they are far away from each other, which in fact this is not true. Also, they thought that by being in the jungle, in the mountain, doesn't lower the risk of infection. So it shows that they don't think through. They don't think in a longer span. That in the end, if everyone think that hiking is okay because they're in nature, it means that after this people will go to hiking, and then there will be a lot of close contact with each other. So it shows that they only think of the shorter span of this kind of behavior impact. Secondly, I think that they committed this kind of act is because they are self-centered. This can be found in the destructive behavior of Merton's first theory. They are committing this social deviant behavior because they only care about what they want. They only care about their well-being by hiking. They thought they can be healthier that way, and they think that the chance for them to get infected is very, very low. They completely ignore the impact of going outside, and completely ignore the restriction movement order as well. So from this case, it shows that these two senior citizens committed social deviant behavior. Right, I think I had explained all three of the examples of social deviant behavior during this COVID-19 pandemic lockdown. So let me refresh back on the first example, on the KKM Pasimas employees refusing to handle the dead body. Secondly, I discussed about the patient under investigation committed suicide at Serdang Hospital. And lastly, of course, about these two senior citizens that hiked at Mount Lambak despite the restriction movement order. Okay, I think that's it from me regarding this first commentary video that has been assigned to me. And I hope you guys enjoy my video and understand what I'm trying to portray to you guys. And thank you so much. Goodbye.